I don't think anything in a man-woman relationship is a mutual exchange.
I
Outside of and even sex.
I think there's always a mutual exchange when you have a balance, right? And a balance is if we can both leave with similar to what we came with, that's when it becomes a mutual exchange. Now, if I leave feeling like I was the one that was duped, I overspent, I overbuilt, and now I have no access to what I've built, because most men look at their women as a savings account. That's the only reason why he's building her. I'm building you in case some shit falls off, and hopefully you're good enough to, to keep us afloat, or I'm building you to expand.
No,
You know
I
what I'm
agree with
saying?
you. In fact, this is my relationship right now. My man closed his business in January. When I met him last time I was on the show, he was making $70,000 a week. You know what I mean? And now he went from making $70,000 a week to $70,000 a year. And that's what I make in 6 weeks. You see, 5 weeks. So his emotional state is very fragile because he's used to being a provider man. He's used to being able to pour in, to be the one to say yes, to make the decisions. So we are currently finding the balance every day of like, how do I keep you in your king's chair of masculinity and being the man in this household, in this relationship, even though the financial dynamic has shifted. But this is what you built me for. You designed me to do this. You know what I mean? Like you designed me to be a powerhouse, to make a shit ton of money, to be super impactful. You made me into this. All the things you taught me, all the networking capabilities, you opened up doors for me. You designed me to be this. Now I'm this, and you're not what you were anymore. And even though you're not, that's a hard pill for a real man to swallow.
No offense.
None taken.
It's not a hard pill for any real man to swallow, because a real man doesn't lose his value but based on the dollar. And I think that when a man is going to stand in his essence with or without, if he's a man at his core. Now, when they say don't let the money make you, a lot of men let the money make his manhood. And when that money makes his manhood and he loses the money for whatever reason, it takes a shot at his manhood.
So let me ask you a question. Outside of protecting and providing, what makes a man a man?
Well, the ability to provide, I mean, technically, if we're talking about providing obviously can come in the form of many different ways than just financial. Because technically, if I've already provided you to be the breadwinner by my investment, I don't care how much you make. I provided you this.
Have you ever had a woman that made more money than you?
I have.
And you don't feel like it affected the dynamic of the relationship?
No. In fact, it was the same as when I had relationships that I made more money than them, because I'm a man in my core. The money, see, one thing about me, especially if I was him, I know I'm gonna make money, especially because I've proven to myself I'm gonna make money.
Right.
I can have $0 today. I know I have 10,000 by the end of the week.
Right.
And even if I don't, I know it's gonna come sooner or later. But but the money, the materials, that the outside of me never affects the inside of me. In fact, to be honest, the more money I make and the more businesses I'm open, it's starting to piss me off because it's more stress, right? And it's actually taking me away from me actually focusing on myself. But what I'm saying is
So the small difference between feeling like I'm still a man no matter what when you are in your 30s versus when you're pushing 50 and you lived your whole life building business and
But I built you. You're my other business.
That's how it should be.
But
that's how it should be.
But
I
don't
disagree with that.
What was the plan that you put in place in your relationship when he
This was
had
the
that
plan.
signal?
She said it.
Go ahead.
No, okay, no, but you said that you try to make sure that he's still in his masculinity. Like, what exactly do you do?
I'm figuring it out. Like, this is a now thing, right?
Okay.
Like, he just closed a business that he had for 22 years, right? That made millions and millions of dollars a year. So to go from that to looking around and being like, what the do I have left? And it's like, I built you, but that's you. I built you, and you still feel great, and you still feel like you're riding this high, and you have so much more to accomplish. But like, what do I have to accomplish now? So
Right,
it's
but
about
when-
me helping him to reset his goals, reestablish what it is that he actually wants in life. And when you lose it all, it's really hard to have those. It's hard to like have goals, dreams, desires, wants, like you start to kind of like all of that gets diminished into nothing because you realize how fast it.
But does that
can
make you
go.
feel like you're in charge now and you have
Do you
to
act
now
as if you're in charge?
take over?
Do you
There
act
is
as if you're
a
in
there
charge?
there is a
A power shift?
I will use the trip for example. We just took a trip to Mexico, right? I paid for the trip. I picked the house. He was pissed about it because it's not cheap. It's not a cheap house, but that's just not how I operate. I don't want a condo. I want an 8-bedroom, 8,600 square feet. You know what I mean? That's
Is
the
that
type
the
of
house
time I'm
you-
on. That's the house that I picked,
Yeah.
You
right?
picked
And
the
I
8-bedroom.
paid
Okay.
for. But if this were a year ago and I asked him, let's get that house, he would say, yeah. But now that it's coming out of my pocket and he feels like that's supposed to be something that he does, he feels like, no, I don't want you to do that. So it does hinder the relationship in that aspect because now the things that he used to say yes to, he's saying no to now because he's like, damn, I don't want you having to do that. I don't want that obligation on you. And I don't feel that way.
It's
I don't
just
feel
It's
obligated.
a problem with him
but-
being able to receive.
It
And
that's why I agreed with you when you said
Yeah, and that's-
men have a hard time receiving financially. In any other aspect, they tend to receive easily. But when it comes to
No, a lot of men can't receive love too. A lot of men have a hard time receiving good treatment by women when they've been treated poorly.
But what is love, right? You have to break that down because that's such a generic word. It's like, what does that consist of? Does it consist of which one of those love languages or how many of them actually consist within that love? It
could be-
So now, yes, I will never lose respect for him
Because
because
he built you.
not because he built me, because of the kind of man he is at his core, no matter what.
But what
Like-
kind of man is he if he's in shambles where money's taken away?
He has honor. He has integrity. He always does what he says he's going to do. He has a character that most men could never compete with or without money.
So the dollar
You know what I
amount
mean?
doesn't matter.
The integrity, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. For the record, I didn't say that.
No.
For the record, that's not what I said. So if he
just
decided
trying to understand.
if he decided to sit on his ass and do nothing for the rest of his life because I built him, that would be a problem for me. Even if
Because
it's to the
you built
degree,
him or because he built you?
no, because that's what makes him feel like a man is him doing. And when he's not doing, he doesn't have that same, he doesn't come with that same energy. So he asked me, like, do you still respect him? Absolutely, because the qualities of his character have not diminished.
Did he ask you
However,
if you still respect him the same?
no, he's actually never asked me that. I think he feels like,
You feel like he feels small?
I feel like he thinks he feels small. I don't look at him in that way, and I never will. I will always put him on the
Is it
pedestal that he
safe to
belongs
say
on.
that it doesn't matter what you think of him then?
Yeah, 100%. It is all internalized. It is all him. He could go make another milli right now. He's got it. You know what I mean? Like, he got it in here. He's missing it in here. The passion for the ways he used to get money is gone. He doesn't trust people anymore. He's been burnt so many times. Like, he's raised all of his employees and took care of all their families. Like, they went into COVID, he was paying them every week. You know what I mean? They were getting PPP and he was paying them. So he just, like, he's that dude for real. Like, one of his employees' son went to the hospital. He paid all the medical bills for the hospital. Like, he's that guy.
You don't
and
see
because
that
he
character right there?
what?
Overly giving? Overly caring?
And that's why he's so mad at himself now, because now that he's lost the ability
And no
to
one
do
is
that.
there to do it for him too.
I mean, there is
Who?
me,
Yeah,
but it's not. It
No,
doesn't hold
no.
the same weight. It doesn't hold the same weight. No matter, I could route all of the funds from the business into his account, and he would route them shits right back.
Well, of course. I mean,
He wouldn't. He just can't stand on that because he's a real man
I don't think that's a real man. I think a real man.
and prideful.
I think
It is prideful.
It's prideful
yeah.
too.
Because
It's the fact that, like, men have a hard time receiving, but it's also pride.
I think
It's
only
like,
a man-
I can't let my woman take care of me. He's not that man.
But that's the problem. See, the thing is that that statement is jumping to, I guess, like statement 3 in the whole story, and not statement 1. Statement 1 is, you can't take care of me if I built you. I made this investment in you for this day. I've built you for this moment. I saw you,
Yeah.
picked you out for the
Yeah.
moment, and
100%.
just like I said,
He
a
used to
savings
say those
account.
things, but now that verbiage has drastically shifted.
Because it was just verbiage. It wasn't real. When it's the essence of his core, it's like, yo, listen, I'm putting this money over here because I want this to grow into this. I'm putting this money over here, and I'm doing this over here because it's going to keep everything afloat in the meantime. But if I lose one and I still got two, I'm still good. Now, I obviously do think every man needs to go do something. I'm not gonna
I would
disagree
pay him
with
to
that.
stay at home, keep his body together, keep a strong dick, and drink wine with me at night. A dead ass would. I
would pay him to do
I would
that?
literally cut him a check.
But see,
I
but
was
this,
about
but
to
that's,
say,
Literally
what,
cut him
like-
a check
but-
from the business account, route that shit right to him, name him some CEO,
Have you said that to him?
somebody. Absolutely.
and what'd he say?
It did not go over well.
You know why?
Yeah, because it's giving sugar baby.
No, it's not giving sugar baby. It's giving I took pride in my position and being able to provide for you. And now I feel insufficed because I can't do that now.
No, it feels like he took a gamble and risk on you, and now he feels like the roles have reversed, and he is now you. And I'm not
thing.
not. It's not
I
the
said the
same,
same thing.
because when you really look at it, if he finds it disrespectful, he finds your position beneath him to come into this relationship from the very beginning. For him to say, "I would never play that role" as well. So if he honored it and had the same level of respect for it, he'd be like, all right, cool, that's cool. But if I can't find that same level of respect for it, that's because I've already felt like I was above it and I could never go there.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I meant when I said earlier, he lost everything. And once you lose
It
to
hurts.
that magnitude, it hurts your ego, it hurts your pride, it hurts your masculine
You should
energy.
give him a kid.
And you also
Give him a kid.
a kid
Right.
that he
Cut.
doesn't feel like he
Cut.
could provide for right now. He feels small.
Yo, if
Listen,
if
we got
given-
2 dogs. I'm not having no kids.
But
I'm done with
trying to-
that.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. A man like him, who is a good man,
Absolutely. The best.
right? He's a great man, and I'm just speaking on based on what you said. A child is going to make him get back up, right? So you are not
Talking about a man who's a lot older than you. He
but-
got 10, 12 years on you.
Yeah, but
So
I'm trying
maybe
to tell
that
you,
would work for you. But a man who's
Rico said
approaching
he needs
50
a
years
motivator.
old,
He needs a baby.
He don't want no damn baby. We don't look.
Rico
needs a
said he
baby.
needs some kind of
We had an
incentive.
agreement in the beginning of our relationship. We don't want no more kids. He got 2. I got 2. We're done with children. What he needs is not a motivation because that's external.
Yeah.
But he needs an ignition inside, something that he finds passion in, that he wants to curate, take care of, and grow.
But the last.
But do you think
He's
that
just
that'll
lost.
work?
I don't think-
think that for someone like how you're explaining him, I think that it'll only like pick him back up if he's the provider again. I don't think that
That's what
any
would
level
make
of
him the provider again. Like this man that I'm speaking of is like he's built multiple $1 million businesses for multiple people, not just himself.
Right.
So he is a it's not called innovator, it's called, I can't think of it right now, it starts with an E. But he's so good at it. Like he could look at something, he could look at this setup, never set up cameras ever before, and he could literally be like, if we angle this like this, or if we move this like that, or if we fix the mic like this, it'll sound better. And he'd be right. He'd be 100% right. And because he's such a powerhouse at that, him diminishing his position from that authoritative space where everybody listens to him because he's always right, to now him feeling like I'm questioning myself. Am I always right? Am I feeling like, because I just lost everything. How could I lose everything if I'm always right? How could I lose everything if I'm this like brilliant, thinker?
yeah.
Like how could it's an internalized thing that I'm going to stand beside until the shift happens. And the only thing that would separate our relationship is if that shift never happens. If he decides that I'm going to be, I hate to say mediocre, but I'm going to accept whatever life throws at me versus creating life like I always have. So if that feeling never comes back, and I don't know what that time frame is, right? Like it's only been a short period of time since he shut down the business and stuff. So he's healing
He's
right now.
gonna-
You know what I mean? He's bleeding out still, and I'm trying to band-aid it
You are
up.
going.
But am I trying to be out? Absolutely not.
Of course.
If it took him 3 years, it would say more about me than it does about him. If I can't find a way to help him spark that internal thing, that flame again, it says more about me, my focus on me, my own selfishness, my own business, my own accolades, my own success, than it does about his inability to get back up.
But it's not you. It's not. So I disagree with that because you can't help spark. I want to say you can't, but like you can't put the blame on you to help spark something that's within somebody else.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
all
take the
them.
blame for it, but I'm saying if in 3 years the direction of our relationship ends up shifting because he can't get back up, I don't blame me for that. I'm saying that is a direct reflection of how much I have invested into him because he invested into me and look what it built.
So what?
So I should be able to do at least a fraction of that
at
in
least-
return for
no,
him.
mutual exchange.
You understand?
Mutual exchange.
So
Right.
yeah, 100%. Like even if that means, giving him the time, the space to heal and to get out of this broken state. But in the event that he decides, and we've had these conversations where he's been like, look, I'm not the man you met. Like I am broken. You know what I mean? Like I am in a place where I don't trust people. I don't even like people. I don't want to build another business because I don't want to look at people. I don't want to hire people. I don't want to be around people. I don't want to have employees. I don't want to do that. And I'm like, okay, take your time and figure out what you want to do. Which is why I said he just ran, for example, small example, we were on vacation. He comes to me on vacation. He's like, babe, I got your Google ads up. I'm like, oh yeah? He's like, yeah, I got your Google ads up. This is not a man who does Google ads and does runs. I've been trying to run Facebook ads for 4 years and them shits get denied every time. I can't get it to work at all. Here he puts his hands in it for a day and boom, we have Google ads running and they're slapping right now. In
Do
2
you see what's
days,
about to happen?
they're already getting results and they're already, kicking up speed.
Do you know what's
So-
gonna happen?
But I will
Do you understand
say,
what's about to happen?
what, with the Google ads?
Do you know what's about to happen?
Hopefully he takes that Google check
Google?
and,
You
know.
think he's gonna take the Google check?
No, he's not going to take the Google check.
You know what's going to happen? I'm gonna tell you one thing
Do
about
tell.
me.
I'm listening.
I am a person who's rarely wrong, especially when I tell you about the
Same.
upcoming events.
You've met your match.
No.
No, but I'm listening
Right?
because I'm a woman at the end of the day, right? Like at the start of the day, at the end of the day, I'm a woman. And I'm always down to hear wise insight from a man who wants to see a good outcome for whatever we're discussing, right? Like I want a solutionist on the other side of the conversation, not an antagonist.
Of course.
And so, if you're
Which one are you today?
If you're which one are you? How did you wake up today?
I'm a solution.
No, I think Rico gets down with me. He cool with me, so I feel
I'm
like
a
he's
solutionist.
about to give me a little nugget. He gave me a couple gems already that I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it. So I'm listening.
So I remember our conversation prior on the first time. Okay. One of the things, and if I'm just putting together this puzzle, I remember you saying that he did not like his job. He makes a lot of money, but that's not what he wants to do. But I don't know how long he was doing it, but just by hearing
22 years.
just by hearing the story, it's been his whole life, right? So now that he's at a point where he doesn't know how to rebuild, only because he doesn't know where to start, only because he never did anything that he wanted to do in his life.
Well, not
His
true.
adulthood.
Not true. When he was younger, he was mega millions in the stock market. He was
Yeah, but you don't want to do that.
prior to 9/11, he was the youngest, can't remember what the name of it is, but broker.
Yeah.
He was the youngest broker in the firm,
But
really on Wall Street,
we're
period.
not saying
So
that
he's had those successes
no,
and
no, no.
achievements,
Wait,
but in the
wait,
last
wait,
22
listen.
years, that's all he knows.
listen, it's not about the success and achievements. We got to strip that out. He's never done what he wanted to do.
Right.
He's made money, but he's never done what he wanted to do. So to ask him what he wants to do let's just
I
say
think he's still
45,
figuring that out.
He never did it, right?
Yeah.
So now, this is what's about to happen. Don't show him this episode because I want to know if I'm right. Give it about
He gonna low key watch it anyway.
give it about
He
12
be
to
on all my
24
stuff.
months, right?
He don't play about me.
He's gonna get to a point where he's gonna sit here and say, I've been doing everything for everybody else my entire life. Now I did reap the benefits of it, of course, But now I did this for their company. I did this for their stocks. I did this for this firm. I did this for everything. I did this for the person that I actually love and care about. This is also mine. So what he helped you build, he will some way shape he's going to segue his self into a ownership / partnership.
So let me tell you how I know that you're right.
But yeah, because that's why he's on them Google ads.
No. Let me tell
I'm about to build this shit.
Let me tell you how I know that you're right. So 2 things are going to happen. He will not take the Google ad money until it is beyond suffice where he feels like he could take a piece without it having any remote effect on me, which is now, literally. Like, you could take all of that, but he won't, right? Because he's still in that figure it out phase, you know? But the job that he has is a behind the scenes, like he does like checking out the web. I'm going to F this up so bad, but he does like behind the scenes engineering, like digging through websites, making sure they're operational, making sure that they work, making sure that they have the SEO and that all of the functionality is there, and he restructures it when it's not. He'd been there for 3 months. The boss is like loving him. So I said to him, why don't you just take a check from the company and stay home and figure out what you love to do? You like building shit. I told him in the beginning, I'm going to retire you. And now we're at that point where I can really stand on that. And now you're like, I don't want to do that.